The school year is coming to an end, and you remember it's a testing year for your homeschooler. What are your options to check off this requirement by your state? Well, for Colorado, we had two options, a licensed teacher evaluation or standardized testing. Today I'm going to share with you what we decided to do and how it worked out. Welcome to Sarah Still Teaches, a place where we get real about the education of our children. If you're looking for more regular education content, be sure to hit subscribe. We decided to go with the standardized testing. Yes, I am a licensed educator in the state of Colorado. However, it felt like a conflict of interest to do my own child's evaluation, and I already knew his abilities based on his student work that we had done together over the last 6 months. Sometimes standardized tests can provide you with data to inform future education decisions, so I thought, let's give it a try and see how it goes. The state requires a nationally standardized achievement test, but it doesn't specify which tests meet this requirement or which tests they want you to take. So you're given a lot of choice. So I headed over to good old Google and did some research. After some scrolling, I came across a company called Seton Testing. I started checking out their website and I found the Iowa test is a nationally standardized test, and I knew Leland had experience with this test at his previous school, so I felt like we should stick with that test for this year and see how it worked out. While reading through Seton Testing's website, I found myself a little confused on how this whole testing thing worked and ordering the tests and sending it back and all the things. So I chatted with one of their reps and they were super helpful at answering my questions, and then I ordered the test and felt much more confident in deciding which type of test to order. The envelope with all of the testing materials showed up at our door during our testing window. I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to find in the envelope when I opened it. I have experience administering standardized testing, both booklet forms and online, but I wasn't sure what exactly I would find. Inside the envelope is a packet from Seton Testing that goes over all the do's and don'ts for the test and explains the 14-day rental period before you need to mail back all materials. And then there's a guide for administering the test and the student booklet. The guide for administering the test has a script of exactly what you should say when you're giving the test, and it tells you how long they have to complete each section. Once we got started with the test, I honestly didn't realize how many sections there are to the Iowa test. There's a lot, and it can be quite lengthy in time. So we decided to break the test up over the course of 3 days, which is definitely a plus of homeschooling. The flexibility of taking a break and only doing a few sections each day is really nice. We don't have to work around everyone trying to test within this testing window and sharing spaces and computers and all the things that would come with testing in a traditional setting. After we wrapped up the entire test, I packaged it back up, took it to the post office, and mailed it back to Seton Testing. About 2 weeks later, I had an email that our test results were ready. So we printed them off and sent them into the school district that we report to. Now, if you've made it this far in the video, I'm gonna give you my honest review of the Iowa test. I found the Iowa test really long, kind of repetitive, and silly in some sections. And then once we got the report back after the test was scored, I found, yes, it shows me his strengths and weaknesses. However, it's not a lot of useful information. Let me show you what I mean. Look at this report. It shows you their grade level equivalent for each section of the test, and it also shows you their national comparisons. But it doesn't give me a whole lot of usable data otherwise. As a teacher, I used to love to dive into the data from some of the tests that my students would take. Not every test is created equally, and not all data they give back to the educator or parents is created equally. This test just doesn't provide me with enough information that's actionable for our future purposes, so I don't think we'll use it again in the future. I know there's a lot of mixed feelings around testing, and I can't say I'm 100% for testing or 100% against testing. I think there's a time and a place for certain assessments, and some of them are written better than others and provide more valuable information than others. I am not a fan of the high stakes testing that we have gotten used to in the traditional education setting. Our students will always be so much more than a number. Let us know in the comments your thoughts about required testing. If you made it to the end of this video, thanks for sticking around. Until next time.